What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I know it has been a couple of days, but I'm trying to get back on track. You don't have none of the usuals with me right now broadcasting. I don't have no Famo. I don't have Rated Shot. I don't have the infamous Lisa Smith. I do not have Old School, but you do have the Master of Ceremony Reek of Too Cool to Con proprietor since 2009. So it's been a while. Even though it's been a while, they still find ways not to send out notifications that I'm actually going live so you can actually weigh in on whatever the topic may be. And the topic tonight is the answer is the answer is in what's not said. The answer is in what's not said. You don't have a conversation with someone and you're trying to get to the point of, whatever point you're trying to make or get across to see what their response is, and they give you everything but the actual answer that you're searching for. And that is telling, even if it's not in a beneficial way towards you. Good Life 615. What's going on with you? What's good with you? Hopefully everything's well and swell in your world. Not too many issues, and you're prospering. That's what I, wish upon everybody. I don't wish no hate. I wish prosperity, even to the ones that do hate. Hopefully you can find something deep down inside that you've been not dealing with to turn it around and make it work out for your benefit. But yeah, as far as I was saying, the answer, everybody wants to answer. Like, oh, tell me, I need a clear, concise answer. Well, when someone doesn't say something and you're head on adjust, you head on, speaking on it and telling them how you feel and you want a particular response, that is your answer, even if it's not beneficial. Don't make it up. Don't be like, oh, maybe they don't mean to not, answer me. No, everybody means what they say and what they definitely don't say, especially when people got the liquid courage in their bloodstream. When people done had too many tore back too many drinks and they get to speak in a certain way, believe that also. A lot of people, oh, they were just drunk, they blacked out. No, they were actually speaking the truth. What they done had bottled up and essentially in silence, not answering, they may be answering it when they get some liquor in their system. So, if you got a partner like that, or I say a female friend, or vice versa, females got female cohorts that they chill with. Hey, why don't y'all go drinking one night? Y'all have a drinking night. Since you can't really go to bars in certain cities, if you're having a little soiree at your humble abode, hey, be like, hey, we're gonna have some drinks tonight. We're gonna celebrate like that. I might have a little small get together since we can't do the club thing or do the bar thing. We're gonna have something going on, and if they've been silent on certain things, that's another way to get your answer. Is don't tear back too much for yourself. Drink something light. Drink something that you ain't gonna be in a spot where you might be coming off some entail that you may not want to come up off of. But have something light, get them something. Hopefully they're not a bad alcoholic where they can't handle their libations. But get something else. You'll be able to tell which direction that wherever you stand and whatever you're trying to gain intelligence on, you'll be able to find that out if it's not had through an everyday normal conversation. Oh, you said likewise, most definitely. Like I said, out of all the amount of subscribers, it doesn't even matter if I send emails to this particular platform. Like, you know what, I've been on here wooty wooty woo however long. Oh yeah, we'll take care of it. Well, that's an answer too. They're giving me an answer like, you know what, everything's working fine. Maybe your app is not loaded right on this particular platform, on these particular devices that are by multi-conglomerate companies is an issue. No, it's called blatant censorship. That's what they're focusing on in the 2020, and you might as well say beyond, because after this month, we're gonna be in 2021, just like that. You know, it seemed like this year flew by, but then again, when you think back, it kind of dragged on in certain areas. You know, depending on what part of the country you're in, what city that you've been in. Now, I guess if you were somewhere down in Wyoming or something, I don't know what the world was going like in Wyoming, but I know around my parts in the Midwest, you know, we was having a lot of issues with these slogans that they throw around on the news media. That's, you know, like I want to call the news media, they're the number one terrorists because they spread the terror. When I say they spread the terror, they spread that fear factor every day. Every day you wake up to turn them on, or if you wake up at in the morning, or if you wake up at, or not wake up, but you know, if you tune in around dinner time, or you tune in at the nighttime hour, or if you watching the 24 news cycle, they always got something to, you know, try to make you be fearful. But if, you know, you're a melanated person and you live in the inner city, or, you know, melanated person period, you don't even have to live in the inner city. Wherever you dwell and wherever you go, you're experiencing some, you know, I'll say discrimination. You know, I won't even say it's terroristic, but you know, after all these years, you know, you might as well look at it like that. It's all these preconceptions and things like that. Oh, you know, even if it's something simple as, hey, well, I got a black friend, or, you know, don't you like this particular kind of music? Like, don't pander to me. Just speak to me like a normal human being. You know, someone that breathes air and walks this planet just as you do. You know, it doesn't have to be, okay, let me show you the latest whatever to make you, you know, think I'm not a bad guy. That automatically makes me think that you're the bad guy when you know, get to doing things like that. You know, just be yourself, be you, you know. That'll make a lot of things go a lot better. You know, I always hear, and back to the number one terrorist organization, the news media, they always draft these stories. Oh, a black male, this happened to a black male. Well, why don't they ever say this ever happened to an Asian male, or this happened to a Irish male, or it happened to an Italian male? They say black like, okay, we have to be singled out. Why? You know, no, this, hey, I know I have pigmentation. You know, I know that, and you know that by, you know, witnessing my frequency. So to, you know, essentially stereotype the story, that's not beneficial, and that's not helping in any type of way. You know, what's going on, Choice? Oh, you said wishing blessings and safety to all. Most definitely. In this day of 2020 focus, you most definitely have to, you know, be aware of all your surroundings, what you engage in. You know, it's kind of different because, you know, certain, like I said, certain cities are still open and certain cities are closed, and then, you know, people get to, like I said, the number one terrorist organization, the news media, they up here, well, look, they had riots and these particular people were doing this, and they want to paint it like every melanated person's heart is hardened by, you know, off of them news stories. No, I understand that they're driving these to try to get you to think a certain way. You know, they control the number one brainwashing tool across, I was gonna say across America, but essentially across the globe, because you see it'll be somewhere in Pakistan that they're doing the same thing that they're doing over here in some small town in a suburb of Chicago or something like that. So I mean, it's a brainwashing tool. A lot of our tablets and cellular phones broadcast the same thing through social media. You know, they have social media personalities that read off scripts that are controlled by hidden hand entities, such as, you know, uh, conglomerates that you know by name, but they don't like to actually attach their name to these, you know, small time that are probably on the climb. What's the word I'm looking for? Social media personalities, or you might as well say new day age, you know, reality. It ain't reality TV celebrities. It's internet celebrities now. They're creating them because essentially the internet has become TV. Because people, you ever notice, just like go. This is coming. Christmas time. If you spending time with family members, just watch how many people be on their cellular phones. It used to be people be, oh, turn this on. We're watching this on TV. No, it ain't that no more. I mean, people watch movies and sometimes shows on Netflix and Hulu and things like that, but a lot of times people are watching things from their phone. They can watch Netflix and Hulu right from their cellular phone. These phones, the clarity is so clear. It's almost as as good as having a big 70-inch smart TV. You can watch everything from your device. You be sitting in your car waiting for your girl to come up out of the job site while you catching up on your latest whatever that you into, or what they done plastered across the news, or the other number one agent TMZ, and the other agent that interviews a lot of melanated brothers and sisters and tries to pit them against each other, and they actually come from Russia, but they want to claim they're American journalists, or the number one pedophiles, or the number one people that are supposedly skyrocketing high over people that are long-held names, but the long-held names ain't, regurgitating the garbage that'll get a lot of young brothers and sisters incarcerated. We're on the page of, enlightening brothers that hopefully make better moves to, stack up their dollars in the right way, where they won't be facing cases and spending all that with those people that are, working out of the same office. You don't want to spend your money with the people working out of the same office and depleting your hard-earned funds however you got them. You want to keep all that. You want to, just like they're putting a lot of brothers and sisters out of work, brothers and all kind of people out of work, saying, oh, this particular slogan makes us have to close this particular business. Well, you know what? Tighten your stuff up, so a lot of those people that work out of the same office, they won't have no certain cases to process. Let them go out of business. Let them find another area of work. Don't be the work that they use to, buy their cabin, or that boat, or that condo that they're looking for, off the blood and sweat of your what you done accomplished and what you done came up on. Don't let that happen. Okay, you said these vaccines on the way. They talking about them in the UK. Yeah, they're already saying over there in the UK, they'll be barred from going to certain places. They might not be able to travel and things like that. Hey, I don't advise anybody taking no poison that essentially the makers, the particular big conglomerate pharmaceutical corporations that make these rushed vaccines, they're not liable if they mess you up. If you happen to kill over, nobody's liable, but you're gone. A son or a daughter done lost their mama, or they grandparent, or whoever it is that's been a caretaker. So no, I don't advise anybody taking nothing where someone's not liable to, essentially assist that family unit in the loss of their loved one, a loved one. Not no this regular person. Oh, someone was essentially collateral damage in the inner city. No, it was actually someone that carried almost damn near half of this family, or all of this family, had a lot of people that looked up to them. But since you're trying to sway the people with the, hey, because it was another news story. I don't know if you've seen this, Choice, but they said, hey, we're going to offer $1,500 for people to take this particular experimental vaccine. Now, a lot of people that are not kind of familiar with things like that, like the Tuskegee situations with brothers that was, getting hit with all that and didn't get the actual remedy. They were actually getting the stuff that was making them worse. They'll think, oh, I'm getting that $1,500. I could do this. I could flip this or that. But essentially, think about it like that. That might just be the aid in you going into the pizza oven, and your family member that's left gonna have to spend the other half that you didn't get to spend to, cremate you down into ashes, So I don't advise any of that. And like I said, nobody's liable. You took it on your own free will. You took this money. Just like think about when family members get paid for, law enforcement slaying them wrongfully. Nobody goes to court. Just like Sosa said, hey, no jail time, no jail time. You do all this for me, but no jail time. Well, that's essentially what they're doing. They do all what they do for, the powers that be, whoever they may be, and it's no jail time. We pay off the family, and then that's hush money. What they don't say when those families get those big payouts, people, oh, that's good. The family got paid X amount of millions, which is actually coming out of the taxpayer dollars. The people within those, depleted communities already, that's coming out of their taxes, or raising their taxes, making it further for them not being able, instead of the people that are the culprits in all this having to pay. They don't have to pay. They don't have to do no jail time or anything like that. So I don't advise, what is not so much advised. They don't speak on that when families take that money, they can no longer speak on whatever situation. If their daughter done got slain, their father done got slain, they can't speak on it. Because you know what? If they take that money and they speak on it, they're liable. Now, isn't that a trip? They're liable because they took the money. Now, if you take whatever they put into that syringe and they pay you for it, that's the same thing. Well, we're not liable because you took it. You shouldn't have took it. Essentially, that's what it is really telling you. If we gotta pay you, that means you don't want to take it. Because think about it like this: the real drugs and things that really aid in things like that, they have high prices on you where you can't even attain it. And that's another way to, well, you don't got insurance? Oh, well, we have nothing to do with that. These bills have to get paid. No, it's an exorbitant amount, so you can't even reach it. So you think about it. If they're paying you to take it, that's definitely some poison that will be getting shot up into your body, changing your whole DNA structure. Even if you have kids afterwards, it's almost like drinking the water in Flint. Lead don't go out of your body in a day. It stays forever. And if you have kids after that, they still having it. So no, I don't want anything like that. I don't advise anybody to take anything like that. And if, certain things go a certain way where you can't do certain things, hey, well, I guess it means it just like the Most High calls us when he says our name, we got to go. Well, I guess, that means I have to go. We done seen too many family members lift up off this realm. I won't say planet, lift up off this realm for, that probably could have been assisted. But, the people that are changing guards, like, oh, look, this president's in here. They're going to do this. This president's in here. No, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter if is this one in here. They both operate out of the same secret society that ain't for the betterment and the benefit of the so-called common man, So you got to think about it like that. Let me see. You said you saw they can keep that. Oh yeah, you said you saw they could keep that that little ass check. Most definitely, ain't no check high enough for me to. Okay, yeah, because I'll tell you something that happened to me. I might have said it before, but it was you get, I think it's every 10 years you get a tetanus shot because, if you get hit by a rusty nail or something like that, it protects you. So I went into the doctor's office and, they're saying, well, you know what? We got this new tetanus shot. It got whooping cough in it. I mean, you haven't been abroad in any different countries or anything. Like, no, I haven't. Well, it still would be beneficial because we got people coming from different countries that, you never know. You can get whooping cough. So they're selling me on this. So the doctor, he gets to saying, look, well, because, I'm basically saying I don't want that one. Just give me the basic plain one that doesn't have whooping cough in there. The one that y'all been rocking with for all these years and I've been fine with it. Give me that one. And he's like, well, the whooping cough, say my mother's like almost 90 years old, and if you were to have whooping cough, she's more susceptible. I'm like, well, if she took this particular touted vaccine that you're talking about, this new tetanus shot with whooping cough in it, to protect against whooping cough, she should be fine, right? He didn't have an answer for that. He didn't have an answer. But that kind of mirrors what's still going on with this new slogan. But anyways, so after you ran his spill and he couldn't sell me on, he's like, well, fine. He had on a computer screen where it was showing the names of the technical names of these tetanus shots, the one with the whooping cough and one without. He was showing me on the screen. That was his mistake right there because I was paying attention. So he said, well, I'll have the nurse come back in here so she can, set you up with, the one that you want without. So he leaves out. The nurse comes back in, and she comes back in with a tray, and she has the syringe on it. It's just one, but she has two gloves on top of the syringe. Now, the untrained eye would just thought, oh, well, she got to have the gloves because she's going to put the gloves on to, administer the tetanus shot. But when she sat it down on the table next to the computer where the doctor was sitting, I looked on the syringe, and the computer screen was still up, and the technical name that was on the screen showed on the side of the syringe. And lo and behold, it was the name for the one with the whooping cough that I didn't ask for. So when she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you got to roll up your sleeve so I can, administer. I'm like, that's not the shot that I'm supposed to get. And she's like, oh no, this is the one you're supposed to. This is the one that the doctor said you're supposed to have. The one that you asked for. I'm like, no. I got good eyes. I don't need no glasses. And that's not no knock to nobody that needs glasses. But I'm like, I don't need glasses. Look on here and see what that code says on the side of the syringe, and look what it says in plain day on this computer screen that you got sitting right in front of your face. She looked at it. She went whiter than she went porcelain. She was already white. She went porcelain. Like, we got a smart one here. Yeah, you do. Now go get the right one. And she was shocked, like, man, he paid attention. So just think, whatever that one was with whooping cough, if that got in my melanated skin, what that could have did to me, So you got to pay attention to how they try to give you what you actually ask for and what you need. They'll try to slip you a Mickey, and that joint go up in your veins and knock all kind of sense up out of you. Have you looking like Eddie Kane from the 5 Heartbeats or something like that. You don't want to be like that. So pay attention to everything that's put before your path, before you ingest it or anything like that. These people will try to knock you off. They speak legalese. You got to slow down and really, if you don't understand what they're saying, ask them again. Hey, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Break it down. It ain't no shame in my game. And if you're trying to shame me, I really don't need to rock with you. I need in plain terms. Don't be trying to talk this jargon if you're not understanding it. Now, if you understand it, just pay attention to what they're saying. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going along with that. Hey, if it's repercussions after that, I don't care. We've been facing all kind of repercussions, way worse than some little wordplay and me to essentially get caught up in something I don't need to get caught up in. So, yeah, that's what's up. Okay, you said, how do I know they didn't slide it in me anyways? Because usually, because I seen all their boxes, they're labeled what it is in there. Because you figure they're taking it too. It ain't just all these particular drugs is for these people. No, they take it too. So they know what they're taking. You have to open up a brand new box. I got to see the syringe right in front of me, right when you open it up, not no, okay, we're sliding in the back room. No, you got to open it up out of the box, and it got to match the actual numbers that is on here, because at that point I already had my phone out and I took a picture of it. So I'm like, if there's anything wrong with it, you're definitely liable for that. I got it right here that you gave me something that's a Mickey. But right off bat, I just seen it from my eyes like, no, this is not the right thing. I can see it clear as day. And it was already out versus, okay, we got to crack it up out the seal and let him see that this is legit. And I ain't had no problems, for having it. I mean, I don't know nobody that had the problems with the whooping cough, but the mere fact of you trying to give me something that I clearly stated to the doctor
And essentially the doctor must have knew, because he's like, you know what, give him this other one anyways. So I don't trust the doctor or that nurse. And matter of fact, right after that, the doctor was no longer at that practice, or the nurse. So that really make you think, like, okay, were they doing this to other people, or why did they, you know, no longer at this clinic? They've been here for quite a while. So what happened to them? Or were they just there for a brief moment? You never know. Yeah, you say you're not trusting, but yeah, definitely that new thing they talking about. It only been made. It only took around a month to make it, and it's by the makers that make, what's it, a Viagra. Think about it. It's by the makers that make Viagra, and essentially what Viagra does, it opens up your blood vessels more. So people that's having erectile dysfunction problems, it'll make it so it'll unclog those particular areas, so you can give a female a nice time, if you're having problems in that area. So think about it like this: if it's the makers of that, who's to say that people that may have high blood pressure and things like that, it's opening it up too much? What if it's opening up too much where it's gonna do something with their blood pressure, and you kill off from that? But they'll say, oh well, it was this slogan. I don't even like to call it this name. It's a slogan. It's a slogan that they want to scare you with. Just like back in 2001, we were supposed to be scared of people in caves, way thousands of miles away from us and stuff. You're supposed to be scared with the people in the caves. But if I'm supposed to be so scared, why are they at every corner store? We go to every corner store in the inner city hood, and people that need their blunts or need they package of Hennessy or whatever, they buying it from the people that's in caves that they touted back in 2001. You're supposed to be scared of. No, I ain't fearful of none of that. I don't even say I'm fearful, but I'm mindful of all this stuff that you're trying to tell me I need to be scared of. Why am I supposed to be scared? Why is it always supposed to be some scare tactics? No. If the Most High call you, he call you. Most thing I'll be mad about is if I let one of my family members, don't put them up on something that they need to know, and something ill happen to them. Then it's almost like you're filled with regret. You're like, you know what? I could have pulled a coat on this and I didn't. Let me see. Okay, what did you say a couple of months ago regarding the vaccine, them controlling perspectives once that fluid is in our veins? I used to work in the hospital, so I know the slick shot, especially with TB. You can't refuse it no more. Right, especially in the 80s, every movie was against Eros, most definitely. But that seemed like it done went away. It done dissipated. I mean, I guess people that are, you know, touting all the racist stuff that they tout, they may, oh, I don't like these types, I don't like your types. But think about it like this: someone posted on social media, a different social media platform other than this. They said the Biden, or no, they said they had two pictures, and it had two captions on the top of it. One said the Trump administration. And the Trump administration that showed the man, the husband and wife, the Caucasian husband and wife that had their, I think he had an assault rifle out and she had a handgun, and that's supposed to be representing the Trump administration. Then it said the Biden administration, and it showed the mother and father from Get Out. Now, think about it like that. I mean, you got racists that are like, I don't like you. They're blatant. They're telling you up front. So I ain't dealing with them. They ain't dealing with me. But they're straight up front with it. Versus the types that, oh, you're inclusive. We love you. But actually, they stabbing you in your back in the worst way, because you're pulling down your guards to be like, oh, they're for me, when actually they're doing the most dirt for you. Especially you saying being in a hospital, it's people like that. Oh, this person's good, going right behind your back. Yeah, they're taking medical supplies. Catch them around this time. They're taking things and get you kicked off your job, get you disbanded, and pull your license and things like that. Versus the person like, I don't like you. You can't work over here. This station is, we can't have you over here. I'd rather deal with someone like that because then I know who I'm dealing with versus the person that's, seeming like they're also your pal and cool. To me, you know where you stand, and that's why you got to read what people say. If it seems like it's too cool, something's not right. You always get that feeling like just as simple as going to get a car. Like, yeah, this car's good. I ain't had any problems with it. I'll drive to California in it. There's no problems. The engine all clean, don't got a stitch of oil in it, but it's maybe 20 years old. I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, it sounds good, but let me really drive it. Oh, well, I don't got a new battery in it. We had to get a battery and jump it and all that. When you're ready to buy it, you can drive it. No, that is the monkey wrench right there. Something's wrong. They don't want me to drive it. Maybe the tranny's slipping. Maybe it's a knocking from the engine or something. But they just want me to be gone off of, oh, look, I just washed it. Look. Or they'll turn on the music. Well, let's turn on the music. Don't you like music? No. Turn all that off. I want to hear how this joint's operating. I want to hear if it's any clunky when I'm going around turns and everything like that. They don't like people that do their research, do their homework. That's what you got to do every day. When we go to these schools and they get you so not liking to do no research. It's like, man, that remind me of school. But you think about it reversal. I'm doing it for my benefit. I don't care about the forefathers that colonized my people and sent us through hell. No, I want to know. Okay, since we was around them, we know how they operate. So I'm gonna use all their ploys against them. Essentially like Django Unchained. You want to infiltrate their little system so it benefits you. It might seem like they got you down. Yeah, I'm playing possum. I'm playing like I'm really injured and hurt, but really I'm gonna be the one that's gonna off with your head. Because my intelligence is superseding yours. You got to keep it like that. But yeah, you got to be mindful when you go in a lot of these hospitals. They talk slick. It's always been a reason why I ain't like hospitals. I done lost many loved ones for going into hospitals and not coming out. Matter of fact, about 2 years ago, I lost a close uncle of mine. He ended up going to the hospital for something. And what's so crazy, he was already on a fixed income. They know he didn't have real good insurance, but he was trying to leave. He's like, well, if you can't help me and just give me, whatever pills that you've been giving me, I gotta leave. Well, no, we're gonna admit you. Well, I don't want to be admitted. And essentially they got security and admitted him. And he never came out of it. They had him hooked up to all kind of machines. Oh, this is helping him. He has this problem. Okay, well, now he's unconscious. So what is it? Are you just using them as a crash test dummy for these new nurses that you got in here? Because when I was talking with one of the nurses that was a Caucasian, not a brother or sister, so yeah, I just got here. I only been here a month, but I'm getting my training on this person. So it's almost like, think about when new doctors come in. How do they be like, okay, I got this many heart surgeries on, or these kind of things under my belt by people that don't know, or say a family member passes away. If you ever experience this, when a family member passes away, they can't do nothing to help them in the system or bring them back. They'll always ask, well, do you want to donate their organs? It'll help out some family like yours. Well, that's a ploy where those fresh doctors that done came into their medical facility system that's on a pay type of a scale, okay, we'll take this heart out. Well, you don't get charged for us taking that heart out. Well, we're definitely going to charge someone that's receiving a heart. They don't want to paint it like that, but that's what they're going to do, because they're going to charge that insurance company. Oh, that heart transplant costs maybe $100,000 or something, $150,000, and this gullible person that thought they was doing a greater good by having their family member's body whacked up and cut up, when they no longer could help them, or they probably thought, what, we probably can help them, but they're in a situation where they don't got no money. We can see their finances. We go over all this when they're admitted to the hospital. We'll just say, they ain't gonna have this much more time, so it'd be better to do this because you might incur costs if they go to the hospice or they stay in this hospital any longer. Why don't you just do this? So hopefully we can get their heart or lungs or whatever body part within inside them that they need for other people. You know, you got to look at it from this. A lot of people may think, "Oh, that's morbid. I don't want to think about it like this." But we got a lot of people that pass away in ways that they probably could have been saved. But that'd be the quickest thing that they say, "Oh, this can help another family." Well, think about one of the shoes been on the other foot. There's been people that need kidneys. They be on there forever trying to find kidneys. So many people that are on dialysis. Why can't they get it? Well, your insurance isn't right. Essentially, you ain't got enough money to get no kidney. For the people that do actually donate, you don't got enough money to do that. So we ain't even thinking about it with you because we think your life is your collateral damage. Essentially, you're only here for the betterment of being a working cog. That's how they look at it. You know. But for the ones that you love, you gotta kind of put this in their head. Give scenarios where it's relatable, especially if you're in that kind of setting. Maybe hopefully you haven't digested all what they're selling. You want to actually be a positive effect in the hospital, but it's almost like a chain of command. Like these people are over me, just like it's a chain of command in probably news media, chain of command in law enforcement, chain of command in whatever business you're working in. You're like, I'm only at this level. To the common eye, to the person that's not in my industry, they think I'm the big boss, but essentially I got bosses that boss on me. So you just got to do the best you can to maneuver through that system where I guess you can have some type of say, because you're always going to have somebody trying to, deny what's going to help, the common man, instead of helping, oh, well, you got to deny them because, their insurance is not right. We can't do no procedures for that. Matter of fact, I'll go back to, I remember this had to be close to 15 years ago. My dad got in a car accident. He was crossing the street and this lady wasn't paying attention, knocked him out into traffic. And essentially, he couldn't walk, he couldn't get up. So they took him in the ambulance down to the hospital. And it was two doctors. These wasn't even nurses. It was two doctors. They scanned one of his legs and they found, it was broke from being hit by the car. But he was complaining he had pain in the other leg. And the whole time they were asking him, well, do you got a job? Do you got insurance? He had all that. He already provided all that information. But, you coming off of work, you ain't looking your best if you're a laborer person. So, he wasn't looking his best and he got hurt and things like that. So they said, well, we're advocating for him. Me and my mother, we're advocating like, what, he's experiencing pain in his other leg. Both of them doctors said, well, you know what, the insurance company wouldn't like, they wouldn't like that. What if his leg is not broken? Well, you took the hypocritical oath where you're supposed to, if someone's in pain, you're supposed to check that. But they thought it was in the better interest of the insurance company not to do that. So essentially, all they did was they wrapped up his leg, they gave him two crutches, and essentially you can go on your way. We had to take him to another totally different hospital out of his whole, out of the system. And they ended up doing an x-ray to find that his other leg was broken. So essentially he had two broken legs. Essentially he could have sued them for that. For essentially that's malpractice. But this is what I'm talking about. They misdiagnose us because people are going off of the stereotypes. People are going off this brainwashing machine. Oh, black people are like this. No, you got me right in your face. The only way I'm raising it and getting indignant and all that is when you're playing me like I'm stupid, like anybody would be, because it ain't just us that get upset and irate over things. When someone's trying to do wrong and trying to do something that's unfavorable to you, you're gonna be like that. And to try to single us, oh, this guy was irate, just like on the news. I watched it in a movie. So no, you get it too. You get it too. You know, real world situations bring that out sometimes. All I want you to do is hear me out. I'm gonna hear you out, but if it's some BS, I'm gonna call you on it. Like anybody should be called on it. With that being said, I've been on 39 minutes. I'm glad for y'all coming in here and saying what you needed to say. Um, like I said, do your research on that. You know, I don't want to be like, hey, don't take this. No, do the research. Be like, okay, Rick said, you know, the slogan they done came with it in about a month or two's time, you know, and they're telling people to take it. Do the research into the company, research how many people they done harmed from that particular company. Do that, you know, research how these pharmaceutical companies are not liable for any of these medicines that you take. Not liable, meaning if you don't understand liability, meaning if you take it on your own free will and something happens to you that they call side effects, but they're the actual effects, happens to you, they don't have to compensate. If you kill over your girl or your mother or anybody that cares for you, can't come and make sure that nobody else is harmed, because that's what it really boils down to. You don't want anybody else harmed. You don't want anybody else to lose their loved one, their brother and sister, or someone like that. That's what it boils down to. Nobody's liable, and they keep practicing the way that they keep practicing. That's not cool. You know, I don't like hearing about people's loved ones getting took out like that in a medical way or any kind of way for that way, but where we know someone's still profiting and still going on vacation and still living their life when brothers and sisters and people that don't got money is going through hell for the smallest things that we see that they shouldn't even be going for. You know, I think them is the biggest crimes. You know, the medical malpractice things. You know, people need to be getting knocked off for that. Now, I wouldn't complain about anything like that. You know, someone that done took someone's family member wrongfully and something, you know, hey, they fell down some stairs and bumped their head 1,000 times. Hey, I wouldn't cry about that because hey, you took their family member and you thought, you know, there was collateral damage and it's like you was stepping on an ant or something, like it didn't matter. No, you have to pay for that, just like everybody has to pay for that. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all coming in, even though I kind of went away from the particular topic, but you get the gist of it. I'm out.